Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ismata Syafira as the moderator for debating performance group second of 4A of English Department, Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. Motion for our debate today is this host believe that students are prohibited from bringing cell phones to school. Well, for the first speakers of affirmative team, time is yours.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ismata Syafira. I'm from class 4A, and then I'm as the first speaker, and then the second speaker is Riska, and then the last speaker is Adi. So for me, this policy was created in response to the increased number of cyberbullying, description to the learning process, and misuse of device by students. While banning phones in classroom and school may seem reasonable, there are a number of reasons to be continuous. We need to carefully consider how we want to take advantage of the digital devices that are brought to school. Some previous experience suggests banning cell phone might cause more problems. The prohibition of carrying cell phone for students at school in the hope that it will not interfere with the consideration of student learning has resulted in many disputes in the school environment. Various reasons, both for and against, the ban continues to emerge as controversy. For those who support the ban on bringing mobile phones at school, the reason is simple. The first reason is try to imagine what the students are serious and concentrating on learning. Suddenly, the cell phone rings. Instantly, the concentration of the class is focused on the source of the sound. As a result, the concentration of student learning is dispersed. The second reason is the students who incidentally are still children and teenagers tend to prefer to play. Every mobile phone is usually occupied with game feature. The tendency to play with will also be carried out in the classroom when learning is taking place. Another reason is that if students are allowed to bring cell phone, it's not impossible that they will do good competition or make cell phone expensive. Okay, maybe the second speaker, Riska.
All right, thank you. Well, the next is first speaker of opposite team. Time is yours.
Okay, check. Thanks to the moderator who has given me the time to deliver our argument. But first of all, I would like to introduce my team, my opposite team. I'm Tasmi as the first speaker, and the second speaker is Ratna, Suci, Cahyaningrom, and the last speaker is Novryansyah, Chotibul, Umam. And yeah, the motion of this debate is this house believes that students are prohibited from bringing cell phones to school. And yeah, my team disagree with these motions. And before I tell you the reason why we disagree with this motion, let me deliver the situation around us now. Since the pandemic, all humans are required to wear masks, wash their hands, and keep their distance. Not only that, we have to get used to always being in touch via our cell phones, whether that is for communicating, learning, and teaching activities. By using mobile phones, it can improve our technological skill, so we'll not be out of progress. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why my team disagree that students are prohibited from bringing cell phones to school. And another reason, cell phones can make the parents easier to check their children conditions. and at least it can make the parents comfortable because they can communicate with their children in every conditions like schedule change, emergency conditions, yeah, something like the important situations. And if the students didn't bring cell phones to school, parents will need to call the school's number, which usually busy, or there are parents who bother coming to school, and it will take a lot of times. And beside that, cell phones can be used as a tool for knowledge, such as calculators, cameras, and the internet. And we can find many informations and knowledge from the internet. Okay, back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tasmi. Well, the next is the second speakers of affirmative team. Time is yours.
All right, thank you for moderator. So I will continue the reason why I agree with this motion that students are prohibited from bringing cell phones to school because cell phone use in school can cause a decrease in brain capture and memory in students. If the school allows students to bring cell phone, it will be very possible for students to use them during study hours, both for studying and outside of the lessons, thus causing students not to focus on studying or just relying on their cell phone without trying hard to find answers in books. As for this, their brains are very rarely interested in critical thinking, so their grasping power decreases. And then it is true that learning to use cell phone will make it easier for students to find information, but we have a teacher. So if there is a lesson or a topic that the student doesn't know, they can ask to the teacher indirectly, and even the teacher doesn't know either, the teacher can use his cell phone to find the answers and explain it to his students. As for the lessons to be more interesting and creative, then the interesting lesson should be created by the teachers with various learning methods so that learning activities can run effectively and not be boring. Not through students' cell phones. It is not the solution. And then, based on my experience as students, it is impossible for a teacher to be careful in supervising them when using cell phone. The students definitely always try to find the chance to play with their cell phone in things outside of class, even during exams. Schools that prohibit students from bringing cell phone to school are often missed, especially in schools that allow it. Maybe you can suggest tightening the rules so that teachers can ensure that the use of cell phones in school is only for studying during hours during class. But keep in mind that the ratio of the number of teachers to students is very far. So how could one teacher with two eyes be able to monitor students who are more than 36? If the cell phones is used for emergencies such as calling parents or after or for other assistance, students can borrow the school's cell phone. So because of that, once again, I said that I agree with prohibition of students bringing cell phone to school. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Riska. Well, we continue to the second speaker of opposite team. Time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. I will continue the reason why we disagree with this motion. It should be shift from banning the use of this new technology to harnessing it for educational purposes. There are schools that have already moved forward in employing mobile phones for educational purposes. One of those schools is Wiregrass Ranch High School in the United States of America. This includes using mobile phones in literature class, mathematics class, as well as note takers. The response among the stakeholders, parents, staffs, and students are positive, and they praise the management of the school for its effort in the implementation. In Malaysia, a school known as Cempaka International Ladies College or Sekolah Cempaka, which is located in Kuala Lumpur, has become the pioneer in the trial towards using mobile phones in educational activities. 200 students have been chosen by Maxis Communication Berhad, a leading telecommunication company, to receive iPhone 3GS as part of its virtual learning environment program. Mobile phones are used in various activities, such as posting notes to students' projects, files, recording videos, or interview for project work, as well as assessing notes. However, to eliminate disruptions, mobile phones are not allowed to be used during lesson at schools. If we only see the bad effects of bringing mobile phone to school, we will only think that this new technology should be banned in schools. What if there was a way to prevent those bad effects? Of course, schools can provide student-specific guidance on responsible use of the mobile phone in the school curriculum. With this guidance, students will know and understand well the importance of responsible use of the phone. So, instead of schools prohibiting the use of mobile phones in schools, schools can take advantage of this technology, mobile phones, for educational purposes by developing a policy as a countermeasure so that mobile phones can be used productively for teaching and learning.
Well, thank you, Ratna. The next is the third speaker from government team to rebut and sum up your argument team. Time is yours.
Okay, for me and my team are mostly agree that the students are not allowing to allow them to bring their phone or mobile phone in their school, because it is also considering that the technology that has been published in public. However, the considering that your group has not considered about how the situation in Indonesia. We also know that in Indonesia, we are in a pandemic situation. We are not fully adapted to the mobile phone procedure of learning, because it is also in the recent research that say it is not effective to our situation in Indonesia in public for public school. If the students need to bring their phone into school, because it is also disruptive their focusness in learning, and also when they have to get an exam, there could be a chance for them to cheating in their exam, because we all know that they could be doing such thing like that, and you are not able to consider me that how can you guarantee our students, because it is also considering they are more than child and teenager, can be use them their mobile smartphone wisely. Who can be guarantee for using them in school hours, or not they are not doing in out of the school hours? who can be guaranteed to doing such thing like that? If that happen, the student will consider more and more unsociable with their friends, because we all know the things that to socialize the each of students member has been socialized in a school. If they bring their phone, they could be disrupted by social students. And the last things was when we are considered to Indonesian situations, the regulation to prohibit the students to bring their phone, because it is also we can see in their economic situation of their parents. If their parents are not be able to ability to buy a cell phone for their child, there is also unfair if they need to bring the child have to smartphone. We can see many things and factual things in the news that the students cannot be learning in the pandemic era because he or she cannot have a smartphone in their learning activities. So it is can be disrupted if they took the force to allowing the students have the ability to bring their mobile phone to school. And also the if the parents need to be able to communicate their child in a certain situation, the school can be provide a technological handphone for their parents to need to communicate if they very urgent situation. And that's is one of the solution if they really need to have communicate with their child. I think that's it.
All right, thank you, Adi. Well, we continue to the third speakers of opposite team. Time is yours.
Thank you to moderator. Now I'm going to talk why we all disagree with that. First of all, smartphone is it's a thing that most people usually have in this, especially in pandemic era. And then second one, many students who now doesn't understand how to use it correctly. And the third, the the teacher can also give the guide to all the students to have those for. First of all, a smartphone provide the multiple layers of learning assistance for students today, especially in the educational thing. The educational apps can bring lesson plan alive within the interactive learning experiences that help students retain more information, like maybe music can display to giving student more chance to focus the work they need to complete to, and give access to complete database information about the subject matters and they are interested in while school. And also the smartphone also bring the opportunity for social encounter in school. Like learning in school involves more than reading, writing, and maybe like arithmetic. Students are also learning how to interact with each other. With the online interaction are just important in the first person interaction, and as a part of the learning experience as well. Smartphone also give the student chance to engage with each other, like through social media, and then create a forum for the group group works, and then they can discuss what have to be a thing that can solve this one of the courses they take. And then they can find more opportunity to discuss in the class as well with smartphone. And then with smartphone, I think that teachers can tell students to specifically to open the thing that you must to open the thing you must like is in the statistic table. They can teach you to see which application the student open it. And for example, like students today are exposed to multiform the content every day. Visual learning make it possible to retain large amounts of information in short of period. It also gives the student chance to experience lesson from the perspective the new never seen before in other student to because they have to their own from their teacher. And then maybe the last is also the good thing is a smartphone to bring in the phone is video learning. Now we live in the digital era. Video learning is just one of the type the information that available student can get. With this tool, student can look up the information about the something they may not fully understand. Maybe in the teachers doesn't give much information about the subject, so they can watch again with the more detailed and specific subjects matter from the any media learning tools such as like watching the video, and then I think is more detailed than to easy understand from student perspective. That's for me.
Okay, thank you, Rian. Well, the next is reply speech from opposite team. Time is yours.
Check, check. Thank you to the moderators. And yeah, as I see from our debate just now, I am very optimistic that my team will be the winner because my team has more detailed and accurate explanations and evidence about our arguments. And the arguments that we bring are very convincing and do not exceed the specific time of limit. And yeah, my team, my opposite team, we emphasize that my team disagree with the motion on this debate. With the motion is this house believe that students are prohibited from bringing cell phones to the school. That's it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Tasmi. Well, the next is reply speech from the government team. Time is yours.
Okay. The first of all, thank you for the moderator to have such leading the debate. We believe that we are from the government team that we are exactly to tell the truth about how this regulation our works in our community and in our school, because we are also believe that the regulation that prove to prohibited the student to bring their phone in their school life is absolutely sense to our communicating. We in the opposite team that say in exactly not in our country situation. They said the example of the other country, but if we see in our could be something of out of topic if we decided to pretend that. So we positively can believe that we are going to winning this debate uh, of the fact that we are already say about how we agree to prohibit the student to bring their smartphone in their school. I think
All right,
that's it.
thank you, Adi. Okay, this all debating performance from group second. I apologize from all my mistakes as moderator. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.